Here to respond to that is former Energy Secretary and former Texas Governor Rick Perry. Governor, thank you for being here. And what is your response? Once again, the Democrats are going after big oil and blaming them for high prices at the pump.
And it is a reflection of their rank politics or their absolute lack of understanding of economics. And I suspect it's probably both. But supply and demand still works. I mean, when you have energy policies that restrict your ability to deliver product to the marketplace, which all of these policies that the Biden administration have put in place, all of these Democrat senators that you saw there on your last clip are talking about, you know, big oil is bad and they're colluding. The fact is, the reason gasoline prices are up is because this administration put policies into place that strangle supply. And when you don't have the supply, the cost goes up. That's just simple economics. They know that, but they're scared to death of the left and the environmentalists that are putting pressure on them to stop the fossil fuel industry in America. And they're doing it. So this is clear. Americans get it. It's not about the energy industry. It's not about the energy companies. It's about the Biden administration and their war against American energy.
Well, let's stay with that, because Republicans on the House Oversight Committee grilling Energy Secretary Jennifer Granholm on Thursday over Biden's energy policies, pushing her on the administration's ban on exports of liquefied natural gas. Listen.
I ask you a simple question. Has the Department of Energy determined whether exporting LNG to our allies around the world is in the public interest?
And I'm answering in a simple way. We are in the middle of updating our assessment.
That would be a no. Well, we're working on it.
We're in the middle of the play, sir.
That would be no.
We're just giving a gift to one of the most evil dictators in the world, Vladimir Putin.
We are not giving a gift to Vladimir Putin. We are pausing for months while we update a study, and it will resume after that update happens.
Oh, I bet you it's going to resume magically right after the November elections.
Exactly. And to that last point, the political side. But on the energy side, this crushes our allies in Western Europe. This LNG ban, I found it to be shocking when I first saw it, or the pause, as the secretary says, because of what it does to our allies in Western Europe who are depending on us for LNG exports. Your reaction?
Yeah, the Russians were the bad guys for, and still are, but they were putting pressure on all of Europe with their ability to restrict the gas flow. Once the war in Ukraine started, the Americans being able to deliver LNG into that marketplace was a real godsend, so to speak. It was a lifeline for the Europeans. And now we put that in jeopardy. And my bet is that congressman is spot on. This is all about playing to the environmental left here before the election. Don't want to lose any of those voters. So let's put this pause on the LNG permits, when in fact, all it's doing is playing into the hands of the environmental left and to people like Vladimir Putin. So this is clearly politics, but it's clearly hurting American energy industry. We could be back where the Trump administration, where we had this country going, which was energy independence and being able to deliver a good, solid, reliable supply of energy to our allies in Europe. Now they look around and go, where are we going to get our fuel? Where are we going to get our energy? And they're going to some less than reliable sources for that because they want to keep their lights on.
Yeah, no, that's unfortunate, but not surprising. And, you know, the White House is still pushing hard for their green energy policies, despite a new report that shows half of all U.S. states could face energy shortages and blackouts this summer. Texas, other states are bracing for major heat waves. New data shows us that wind and solar power are reliable less than 40% of the time. You've got Democratic Senator Joe Manchin speaking out. He says politics are behind this. Watch this.
It's ridiculous that government action is creating new categories of grid risk instead of preventing the risk. You can't take something off before you have something equally as good, if not better, to replace it with. You might not like coal, but coal's built this country what it is today. They're just damned to do it because of the political reasons.
What do you say to his comments?
Well, Joe Manchin's always been rather spot on, particularly when it comes to energy policies and the idea that we need to rely upon unreliable sources like wind and like solar. We need an all of the above strategy. If the administration had given incentives to small modular reactors, those walk-away safe, economically feasible sources of power from the nuclear energy side of things, we'd be way ahead of the game today. But they don't like anything, it appears, but these renewables, which are absolutely unreliable. We need them in the grand scheme of things, but if you're going to keep the grid up and going, you've got to have reliable base load. That only comes from two things: fossil fuels, particularly natural gas, and from nuclear.
Nobody in Texas, I know, wants to see another condition like we saw with that summer, where you had so many people that were so unfortunately had died. Before you go, Governor, I have to ask you, it is an election year. If Donald Trump goes back into the White House, would you be interested in a cabinet position again?
Well, there's a lot of great talent out there. My focus on making sure that Donald Trump gets elected, that we remove the Biden administration and their really negative impact, particularly on American energy and particularly on the American economy, because energy and the economy are inextricably intertwined. And if you have a strong energy industry, then you're going to have a strong economy. So we need to make sure that President Trump is back in the White House. He's going to put great people into place. This is a team approach. When you look at the Trump team that we had before and you look at the Biden team today, this ought to be an easy choice for any American.
Well said. Governor Rick Perry, it's always great to see you, sir. Thank you.